everyone is in, all our speakers. So, welcome to this breakout session about smarter projects. So let's try to be smart also because the time is kicking out. My name is Lucia Scopelliti. I'm a civil servant. I'm a manager at the Municipality of Milan, but I'm also UIA expert. I follow with the Milan UIA project Open Agri, and I also advise the city of Aveiro as an expert. So I won't take so much time on this. I will go straight to introduce our speakers. So first of all, Debbie van der Meulen. She represents the project Passport for Work. All these projects, as you know, are under the Jobs and Skill stream of projects funded by the UIA. So Debbie, she works for Building Changes, which is a company within the building industry, partner of Eindhoven Passport for Work. Debbie has a background in HR and change management and sustainable employability. Building industry has a huge challenge in front of ahead because sustainability is a challenge for this industry, but also a conservative view on HR is a feature of this industry. So there is a lot to be gained on human capital on this, and so this is why reskill is a fundamental aspect. Then we have Jordan Vasquez. Is the project manager of as Fabrik for the city of Bilbao. So Jordan is advisor at the Bilbao Mayor's Office since 2015. He is also leader of Bilbao University Strategy and Energy Transition Strategy, and he is heavily involved in Sorosaure project. And finally, Andre Costa from Aveiro Steam City. Ciao, Andre. He is a civil servant for the city of Aveiro since 2004, and since 2013 is the head office of economic development and entrepreneurship in the city. And of course, he is the project manager of the UIA project. He was also appointed as a member of the executive commission for the candidacy of Aveiro to become European Capital of Culture in 2027. So good luck. Well, after this quick introduction, I will go straight to the first project, to Passport for Work. I really hope that all of you had the chance to watch the videos that our speakers through the UIA Secretariat shared about the project, but just to very quickly introduce them. So Passport for Work is a solution that wants to redesign the journey to re-employment for the lower educated workforce through a new platform. So this project leads to the development of a skill passport and through a gamified assessment. So through this tool, it will be possible to launch a new education program for skills improvement and to improve the efficiency of time to employment. So really, in a nutshell, this is the content of Passport for Work, the project led by Eindhoven. So Debbie, please, can you share with us which were the main policy challenges that you identified for your project? I think you are muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Sorry for that.
Yeah, great.
The main challenges are to especially close the gap between quite a lot of people searching for jobs who have been distanced to the labor market for quite a while. And on the other hand, a lot of companies who are searching for people. So there was a mismatch there. And that occurs because quite often matches are created based on classic curricula, and the way to get people mobilized on the labor market is to look at the soft skills. So if somebody has the right set of soft skills, it will be easier for somebody to land in a certain job in a certain industry, and from there they can learn the more technical skills. So therewith we broaden actually the pool that employers can search people from, and people will have a lower threshold to gain a place on the labor market.
All right. Thank you, Debbie, for addressing this first question. And now I will leave the floor to Jordan from Bilbao. This is a sort of fireside chat. So I will try again in a nutshell. Bilbao, as Fabrik project, want to test a model of a factory for the creation of advanced services for the industry. So basically face the challenge of the reshoring and renewing the manufacturing techniques towards the industry 4.0. It foresees a number of activities such as education programs, the definition of new business models, also the setup of new fab labs, and also urban regeneration for this neighborhood, which is Sorosaure, which is an ex-industrial area. So, Jordan, according to your point of view, which were the main policy challenges you had to face? The project is almost at its end, isn't it?
That's it. So it's a project from the first Urban Innovative Actions call. We just closed the project in July, so we're wrapping up now and disseminating. So this is a very good opportunity for us too regarding that. So as a region, the Basque Country has always pushed its manufacturing industry sector. Around 23% of our GDP comes from manufacturing industry. And Bilbao was actually a very heavy industry city. So it was more of an inhabited factory than a city itself. And of course, with all the industrial transformation that we had during the 80s and 90s, all the factories left the city of Bilbao. But in any case, as a city, we do want to promote the manufacturing sector, not by bringing again the factories to the city of Bilbao, but rather helping our manufacturing industries evolve and develop, create new value-added services and products. And that's what As Fabrik is all about. So it's about promoting Industry 4.0 from a very industrial perspective, but also from a very urban perspective.
Okay, thank you, Jordan. And finally, Andre. Aveiro Steam City it's really a smart city project. It's a project about setting up a technological revolution in the city of Aveiro, starting up living lab in the city center with a number of use cases about energy, mobility, environment, and also foresee a number of, let's say, software activities dedicated to the population, from kids to people who is in need of reskilling and in search for new jobs. So it's a quite 360 complex project. And Andrea, I address you the same questions, the main challenges you had to face.
Thank you, Lucia. Yeah, as you mentioned, it is a project with a wide range of activities. And I would say that the main focus is to support the competitiveness of our local economy, and also to address one of the main challenges that I think every city is facing today, which is how can we attract and retain talent. But having this wide range of activities, I would say that the three main policy challenges that we have are: one, to promote a society that is based on knowledge. And we have one specific axe of intervention that is focused on STEAM education program. We are implementing different activities so that we can better prepare our young generations for the future job market. Two, we also want to support our SMEs to have a more skilled labor force. And to do so, we have in our second axis of intervention, which is named training, we are developing a labor responsive observatory. So the main outcome from this observatory is to implement different training activities that will support digital transformation of our SMEs. And third, and to support startups and R&D center, and as you mentioned, we are we have just launched our Aveiro Tech City Living Lab. This Living Lab is as a 5G experimental network. We have 16 kilometers of fiber technology. But basically what we want is to support startups and R&D so that they can test their products that are related with IoT and smart cities. And it's interesting when we look back to 2018, when we presented this proposal to the UIA, that we are very much aligned also with the ambitions and the objectives of this new initiative from the European Commission, which are the digital innovation hubs. So in short, I would say that the three main policy challenges are to promote a society based on knowledge, to support our SMEs to have a more skilled labor force, and to support startups and R&D centers to develop innovative products related with IoT and smart cities.
Okay, thank you, Andre. And I will go back to Debbie addressing the second questions, but also trying to merge it with a question that came from the chat. So the second question is about the main policy achievement. And Debbie, please, if you could also clarify if the platform coming from Passport for Work is relating to any sector of activities or promotes some sectors, some professional sectors in particular.
Sorry again. In particular, we engage the building industry, as that is a scarce industry, same for the healthcare industry and also for the process technology industry. So those are the three main industries that we are targeting on. And we are aiming for the VET levels 1 up until 3. And what we have discovered during our project period is that especially in the VET, the lower educated region, unfortunately, learnability and soft skills still require a lot of attention. And that is what we're really aiming at now, so that people who are, at the moment have a distance to the labor market are activated to become more learnable, more adaptive, so they will be able eventually to find a sustainable place on the labor market. And due to COVID, we have broadened our range also for people who are coming from work to work. An example, unfortunately, due to the lockdown, a lot of restaurants and cafes are closed in Holland, but the healthcare industry already was lacking with personnel. So now we are trying to make it easier for people from the hospitality industry to start working in healthcare in low threshold jobs.
Okay, thank you, Debbie. And Hordan, maybe it's easier from your point of view because as we just said, the project came to an end. What could you say and comment in terms of policy achievements?
Well, I'd say that we've been fairly successful at understanding what we don't know about the industrial sector. So in a sense, many people think that industrial manufacturing industry is only about producing things in a factory. And it's more and more about different things now. It's about the services you provide. It's about maintenance. It's about innovation. It's about also new ways of financing your products, of delivering value to your clients. And it's something that we've been learning together with many of the local companies in Bilbao, so consultancy companies, R&D companies. And it's helped us shape the way that we fund new startups, the kind of services that we give them, the way that we foster new innovation subsectors. And also, of course, through the different universities and R&D centers, we've created new training courses, new doctoral theses and different research activities that are really helping our industry evolve towards a more value-added sectors, including, of course, health, which is kind of a hot topic now, and especially helping SMEs, which, of course, being small companies and usually quite fragile from a from the economic point of view, they cannot afford to do big investments in transformation activities and fail, because if they fail there, the whole company fails. So it's been quite a challenge. It's put the municipality out of its comfort zone, and we've started doing lots of many different things, collaborating with the regional government, collaborating with different companies, and generally helping us engage in policy in a very different way.
All right, thank you. And Andre, you are close to an end, but not yet there. What are your comments until now in terms of achievements?
Well, yeah, we've just concluded the second year of the project. We still have one year ahead of us. But I would say, as mentioned before, the living lab that we have already delivered at City Center, that was quite an achievement to be able to have that innovative infrastructure now at the City Center, 16 kilometers of fiber, 44 reconfigurable radio units, an experimental 5G network. And as mentioned, this is to support R&D centers and startups. Now we have to see over the next year if this is going to be used, and it will be well used by our ICT companies. So far, the project is being well accepted, but we're going to see over the next year if we achieve the results that we aimed at. Also, one thing that was affected by this COVID-19 situation, but nevertheless, so far it has been a good achievement, is the development and the implementation of the STEAM education strategy, which was in a very close collaboration with our teachers and also the University of Aveiro, which is our main partner in this activity. We have so far over 100 teachers that have received training and also support in the classroom to implement the different activities that we have in this new STEAM educational approach that has two goals. On one hand, to develop the STEAM knowledge in our students, but also to develop the 21st century skills such as critical analysis, self-learning, collaborative work, and problem-solving resilience in our students. We believe that this is very important in the future job market for our students to develop these competencies. And again, with the difficulties of facing this COVID-19 situation, still the project has been implemented with very good results. And finally, I would also like to point out the innovative boot camps that we have implemented to develop full stack developers. We launched 3 of those innovative boot camps, and so far we have an employment rate of 80% and more than 20 job contracts that were secured in our ICT companies in Aveiro. In most cases, some of these new full stack developers are coming from outside of Aveiro, which is important because we're attracting talent. And also it's important to stress that we gave an opportunity for unemployed people or employed professionals that were looking for a new career opportunities to start having a career as a full stack developers. So yeah, so far in these 2 years, we have some very positive achievements with the project.
Okay, thank you, Andre. And in terms of learning points, maybe this time I will start from Hordan. There is this, it's considered the fourth industrial revolution. Which are the main learning points that you identified?
Well, there's lots of things that we've done during the project. It's been over 3 years working hard with many people. I'd say that one is that the fourth industrial revolution is not a singularity. It's not a singular point. It's something that is going to be ongoing for a very long time. So it's about supporting the continuous change that many different sectors, including manufacturing industry, are suffering. We've also learned how to more effectively create partnerships, and that I would say it's the main takeaway that we've taken from this project, and it's been a surprising one because we weren't aiming for that. We always thought that we had a very close relationships with companies and universities in our surrounding area. The truth is that once you get hands-on into projects of this complexity, where you really have to go to the frontier, to the state of the art of these new sectors, you really realize how things are. So I take those two, the way that we have to support new companies and existing companies to evolve, to continuously evolve, keep moving, and the way that we build teams effectively.
Okay, thank you. And Debbie, in terms of jobs and skills and reskilling in particular, which were the main learning points? Please unmute yourself.
That it's very important to be agile. That's we're learning every day, and one of the main learning points is that it's very important to connect with the industries and to really start the discussion on what is really necessary to get the job done. And on the other hand, to really connect with the job seekers to find where their challenges lie and how you can interconnect them. And another one is that we have quite a lot of partners in our project who all also have their own, represent their own background. That's been a challenge to get everybody on board and to have the same main goal. But we've managed also to create effective teamwork. And due to COVID, it was harder to meet up. But on the other hand, we've found that working online also works very effectively, and also teaches us how important it is to work on digitalization skills, which is also a very important skill that is addressed in our tool, the same as robotica. And also therefore it's very important to activate the self-learning from the people who are looking for a job and for employees, but also for employers to facilitate this lifelong learning possibility within the job that has to be done. So it's sort of an ongoing process. And I think the innovation only will accelerate during the year.
All this. Thank you, Debbie. And Andre, I ask you to answer to the last two questions at once because we are running out of time. So what are the main learning points in setting up a new living lab and the UIA added value overall for you, for your city?
Then let me talk directly to our audience. I mean, right now, although we're still not at the end of the project, we also want to share with others what are some of the activities and the lessons that we have learned. So I will be very much interested in talking with other cities that are focusing on STEAM education. We have just recently engaged a very interesting conversation with the city of Oulu in Finland. And I think it would also be very interesting to share with other European cities that want to learn more on this subject of STEAM education. And we also want to learn with them if they are implementing similar strategies. Also, and referring to one of the use cases that we have implemented, you mentioned in the beginning of this seminar, the energy use case. We have in Aveiro the urban water canals, and we have our typical muliceiro boats, and they do the touristic tours. And we decided 2 years ago that we wanted to make a shift from fossil engines to electrical engines in our muliceiro boats, because only that shift would represent a reduction of 400 tons of CO2 emissions in our urban canals. So this was a very interesting project for us to learn how could be the charging stations in the docks for the boats, and what could be the technical solution for the different type of boats that we have. So if there's other European cities here that are listening to us and they want to learn more on this, we would be happy to share. Related with the UIA added value, I mean, this UIA support has been crucial for the Aveiro Steam City project on different levels. First, and obviously, the financial support. They gave us the opportunity to innovate. They gave us room to test, to learn, to fail, and also to move forward. And this is very important. This is a great opportunity that UIA provide us cities, and I invite all other cities to be more involved in this project, in this program. Also, the governance model. We had the opportunity to implement a novel governance model where we, the city, are leading our partners and defining also a business model for the future implementation of the project. And I think this is very important because more and more we need to collaborate with our stakeholders in order to implement public policies that aim at supporting the economic and social development of our territories. And UIA gave us the opportunity to have a closer relation with our stakeholders and partners in the economic development area. Thank you.
Thank you, Andre. I think that in 1 minute we will be rebooted to the plenary session. So really a tweet for Dan, the UIA added value.